yeah, Switch, you're gonna do it, man. A proposition for your booty.
I had this fucking dream. It was a real dream, too. I was gonna go to California, and I was gonna become a superstar. It's a fact. You guys don't realize what I'm saying. You know, you're looking at me and you're like, you're an idiot. You're a damn fool. Yeah, I believe this shit, you guys. I mean, this wasn't like, I'm just telling you this shit, you know? And I didn't mean what I'm saying. I fucking believed it, you guys, with my whole being. If I just took off at 18, I lived it, I dreamt it, and I believed I was going to become a star, you guys. And this is no joke. Like, it was my religion. This was my fucking religion, you guys. I don't think a moment passed in my life for 4 years in high school or whatever that I didn't believe this was going to happen. I mean, I fully... You ever watch those, what do you call it? Guys that say, you can dream it, you can believe it, you can make it, you can create it if you believe it, you know? That we can create our... Listen, I really fucking thought I was going to create this shit, man. I thought that I was so special. That I was somebody so different than everybody else, you guys. That I had this personality, and that I was better looking or good looking enough with the personality I had, that I was going to meet the right people. It was all going to fall into place. You guys. 100%. Look in my eyes. I 100% believe this shit, you guys. That there was destiny out there for me, right? I'm out living in the country in a place that somebody's let me live for free. God, I don't even know how much I should say about this. Living with a sick pig. An old sick pig of a man that I could hear touching himself at night in the room next to me with no door. No door. Had to prop the door up against the wall. He wasn't touching himself to me or anything like that. That I know of. No, it was nothing like that, but it was weird. There's some... People are just sick in this world, guys. I was living in his house. So I got nothing I could say about that. Just a gross old man. And he was doing me a favor. But I should have known at the time that... I didn't know. I didn't know this wasn't natural, that it's just the way my life went. It was just the start of the characters I would meet, you know? That's the sad reality of it all right there, is that in this world, when you have a dream like that, a weird dream, you're going to meet a lot of weird people, you know. Normal people aren't going to, like, hear you out and be like, oh, yeah, yeah, Switch, you're going to do it, man. And if they do, there's a problem. They ain't all right in the head, right? If somebody hears you saying this kind of nonsense, and instead of, like, I mean, obviously it sucks if you don't want to tell somebody that their dream is mental, but maybe try to, if you really want to help that person, maybe try to steer them in the right direction, you know? I always had weird people that I'd live with and stuff. They're the only ones that are going to let you just move in, you know? This guy was a strange bird, man. And, he'd have me help him do stuff. Like, every day would just... It was fun for me. I was a young man. I'm not even saying that I didn't enjoy it. I'm just telling you. like one day I woke up, he'd always go to like, he'd go to drug meetings like to meet women. Cause he wasn't a good looking man, okay? He was a good guy at heart. He had the right idea, I think, in his heart, you know. But he'd go to, he'd find women at AODA meetings, right? This was his thing. This guy I'm living with, he was an older man. So, this shit would always hit the fan, you know. And he met this one, and they're fighting and screaming all the time, right? A black woman, younger, probably 25. They're always 25 years younger than him. He must have been 50, and she was probably 35. It was always like that, 55 and 35 or something like that. And we're living in a dungeon, right? Upstairs in this old house. It's got, the water's full of sulfur, so it's eating holes in like the tub and stuff. So just picture this, right? So no doors, right? This guy's always watching porn next to me, right? Old porn too, not even like, just weird stuff on like VHS. So I'm always just hiding in there, you know? I got a door propped up and I can see them like shadows and... Anyway, I'm making plans to go to California. This is just a jumping off spot anyway in my life to me at the time or whatever. So I wake up and they're screaming at each other. This black lady and him, and evidently she lives in Milwaukee, so she's threatening to kill him. Really kill him. You know? She's calling her people in Milwaukee and they're planning on killing this guy. They want to kill him. Right? So I had to do stuff like that. So I'd wake up and bang and be like, we got to get rid of her, get in the car. Mind you, this is an old man. This ain't, I'm an 18-year-old kid. This is a grown-ass old man. I'm just trying to get to California, you guys, right? To meet my buddy, a friend of mine. That's what I want to do. That's it. So I'm in this spot, this house. Can't even shower. I mean, oh, you guys, the smell. The water had rotted right through the, it's way out in the country, right? So it's like a Jeffrey Dahmer. Dahmer actually lived in the city. But it's like a serial killer house, you guys. There was a, when you went to the bathroom, there was two bathrooms. One upstairs where the toilet wasn't even there, hooked up, and the shower literally rotted through the shower, so the water would drain right through the shower. Then the only bathroom you could use was downstairs, right? And when you walked in, it had planks of wood. So when you had to go to the bathroom and you're sitting down, you could see into the basement. This is a true story, you guys. I ain't making this up. I had to drive with these two freaks to 2-hour drive while they're screaming at each other, right? This was like just one of them everyday things I'd have to do, you know, to keep my free housing. And they had the guys there ready to kill him, you know. So he didn't get all the way to her house, and these guys were literally there. They were going to kill him. These black guys in Milwaukee. And he stopped the car. She got out. These guys are running down the street after the truck, you know, to either beat the hell out of us or kill us. I don't know, whatever. I'm in the back, so I get in the back of the bed of the truck. He's driving down the road at like 15 miles an hour, and I'm tossing our bags out the back, you know, right into the street in downtown Milwaukee, you know. These are the kind of things that were going on. But anyway, I was just waiting to for my buddy to get set up in California. He had left earlier than me, and I was going to meet him down there, so this was just like a hopping off house, you know, flop house for me. I don't know how I got into that story, but it seemed fitting. Oh, yeah, it was something else. I can still smell it. It had the oldest carpet, you guys. It had to have been from the 30s, you know, and it was completely shot from the leaky roof leaking into the carpet, and the carpet just having stains everywhere. And it was dark blue, you know, and purple, and I mean, just nasty, you guys. About as nasty as it gets.
Woo! Woo! You guys, I really fucking believe this nonsense I'm telling you right now. You don't get it. You don't get it. So anyway, I dropped this, would throw this stuff out the back of the car. And that was it. I pretty much had made up my mind at that point, you know, that this was time. It's about time to leave, you know. Pack up the car. I didn't have much to pack up. Mental, you guys. Mental. What a different time. You guys, there's no way to explain to anybody watching this under 20 years old, 25 years old, what it was like to grow up with CKY. It's all coming back a little bit now, which I love. Bam Margera, but there was CKY. We didn't have the internet. There was nothing like that. We had CKY. We had the original Jackass. We had CKY 2K. We had... People believed they could do it. Bam Margera made it so that everybody believed they could do it. Awesome time to be alive. People really believe this shit, okay? Yeah. Everybody could do it. And probably could. If you were willing to kill yourself, jump off a moving train, and kill yourself on a camera, there was a chance you could make it in the early 2000s. I didn't make it. But what a time to be alive. The people you meet. And you always have this belief that you're chosen when you're young. When you're 18, 17, 18 years old, you believe you're chosen. Like, it's part of you. I think most people feel that way. You really think you're chosen, that you're special. Depending on your upbringing, you know. I wasn't born into a family that had parents that were watching me, you know. This is what it is. If you got structure, come from like a military family or a religious family, then it might be different for you. But back then in the early 2000s, we were 17, 18 years old. We were all brat kids. We really thought that we could be somebody. We really had the belief. It was instilled in us. Pot was different. Okay? Like, it wasn't part of the scene, you know? It was fringe. We were smoking homemade bongs out of, you know, milk containers. Early 2000s, like 2002, 2003, 2004, there was schwa, guys. Swag. We were watching CKY and smoking out of water bottle bongs. Milk carton bongs. Swag. I should have known better. But when you're young and you have full belief, it's a wonder how I didn't get raped and molested, you guys. I was smart enough. I wasn't willing to do anything like that. I had a lot of buddies I lost to that, you guys. To sexual predators and stuff. There wasn't TV shows to catch them back then. You got on heroin back then. That was it for you. I mean, I don't want a blanket statement it, but I've seen a lot of guys you wouldn't expect. You're going to ride. You're going to hitchhike across the country. Go to California. Try to make something of yourself. Become a movie star back in the early 2000s. And you got hooked on smack. You're giving up that booty. Fact. 100% facts. And messed up all their heads, too. I've seen some of the toughest guys. Some of the coolest guys. Some of the coolest and toughest guys I've ever met. Sucking birds. They're never the same after that, you guys. Never. Never. If they live. Most of them died of heroin overdoses. There ain't very many alive, you guys. And the ones that are not even alive anymore. They're not even a shell at this point. After this many years, they're not even a shell of the people they were. Mental health is so bad that there are a lot of perverts in this world, you guys. Walking around. Not just men, women too. And I'll go as far as to say is that as many predators that go after women, you can double it for men, young men. Double it. People are starting to see it now because of the internet. You just double it. You know, I'd get a neighbor or something. You know? And they'd catch on real quick. Old ladies would catch on real quick that you didn't have any money and you're struggling, you know? They're worse than men, you guys. They come at you with the nice gifts and... At least men were upfront about it. And couples too, you guys. I was a pretty good looking kid. I'll put my my pictures are in my whatever, but I'll probably overlay one probably. Or you can look. I wasn't an ugly kid. I was skinny in shape. Good looking guy. Not so much anymore. You're probably looking at me like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? He looks like a fucking loser. He's fucking goofy. He stinks. He's got old clothes on all the time. He's wearing fucking... Nah, I was a cool guy at one time, you guys. I was a cool, good-looking guy at one time. That people like to be around. The men would come out front about it, you know? I'll do this for you if you do that for me. Why watch, you know? I've seen it all the time when you're traveling. All my friends were young men. Some of them went down that road and they never came back. And I could never really understand what made them go down that road. It got to the point in life, even now, I have a really hard time believing these people are real. You know? Because they seem to be just like me, but they'd go down that road, you know? How could anybody get to a point in their life where they would go down that road to shoot smack and sell their body? I didn't even have religion or anything or family or anybody telling me what to do. And it was, my moral compass, it's pretty simple. That's a road that you don't go down, you know? And I thought the friends I was with had the same compass. They seemed to follow everything we all did together. I don't understand why some of them had such a low breaking point. You know, that they would do something like that. It's not even temptation for me. What would a couple $100 do for me, you know? It was logical thought, you know? Nothing. Okay, so somebody's going to pay 1 month of my rent or something. Nobody's going to give us $1 million. Predators always give you just enough that you have to come back for more. I mean, it's fairly obvious manipulation, you guys. And logically, you get to a point where you got no money and you're begging for change and eating Del Taco for 50 cents a taco, fine. But I never understood why guys that were like me, that seemed to be just like me, would give into that. For what? I don't know. It's weird to me. It got to the point where I felt like that people aren't real. That there's a vast majority of people that you meet are not real. I don't know how to explain it. It's like they have an empty, like your body's supposed to carry a soul, and it seems like they're just an empty vessel. It's like the predators have an empty vessel, and they're hunting for other empty vessels. In that situation, not always. Like obviously, people that go after children, that's way different. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people going after 16, 17, 18-year-olds that are traveling, you know, trying to take advantage of them, trying to swing deals with them. Because I'm not like a emotional therapist, but why somebody like me could be next to two guys that seemingly have all the same interests as me, some of them brighter than me. Why just for some reason I would understand so simple that we're being taken advantage of, and some of them would even know that they're being taken advantage of and still do it. I just never could wrap my head around it. And then watch them go down that road. And they're strong men. Who cares if they didn't have they have money that month, or we had to sleep on the street for a month? Who cares? You know, we'll figure something out. We'll do, you know, I'd be saying that stuff. And it was like they're just drawn into this, like, it's almost like they wanted to do it in the first place, even though I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to relate the words that you guys would understand what it's like to watch somebody go and do that. It's hard to call them victims when they know what's at the end of the tunnel. They're young. We were young. I'll give them that. And we were stupid. Lay down! Sometimes you have to be forceful or she'll just keep whining. I would never put my hands on her. How do you explain that to somebody that... I don't know how to explain it. It's like they were empty vessels, you guys. Like they weren't the people I thought they were. We knew what we were getting into. None of us were dumb. Okay? They've all been through crazy stuff with me. I'm not talking about people that are innocent. We weren't really innocent. I mean, we were young and dumb, but we weren't innocent. You get what I'm saying? We had all done things. There was nothing innocent about us in that light. We've seen enough to know. We didn't travel the country hitchhiking, sleeping, riding trains, sleeping wherever we sleep, with backpacks, with no help, with nobody to help us. We didn't get there because we were innocent. I don't get why they would choose that path to go right down that hill where they could see. I know for a fact they could see it. Because I talked to them every night. They lived with me. They knew. They openly discussed options and crazy to me. It wasn't like that we were all being tricked or something, is what I'm trying to tell you. I mean, I'm sure there are predators that trick you, but when you're savvy like us, it's more of a deal proposition for guys like us, street kids like us, what we were. It's not going to be a trickster type of deal. You're not going to get one over on guys like us. It's a proposition. We'll give you this if you give us that. Okay? I'm not talking about other situations which are probably worse, different. People just blatantly... This is what I'm telling you is how I seen it with what I was doing as a street kid. It was almost always a proposition. A proposition for your booty. And it was never a good offer. Never. It wasn't like the devil offered something good. We weren't offered superstardom. Okay? It wasn't nothing like that. I mean, these kids were selling their booty for... Selling their manhood, selling their life. Start shooting drugs because of it. For a couple $100 back then. Which is probably equal to about $1,000 now. I don't get it, you guys. But anyway, that's the story. I don't know how I got into it. I could go on for hours about it. It's so sad to look back and be like, I don't know how I made it out. But like I said, they didn't offer us... these guys go on TV and they're offered superstar movie roles and stuff. Hey, if somebody would offer me to become a superstar, I don't know what I would have said. I mean, obviously, I could sit here and tell you I would have never made a deal like that, but that was my dream, you guys. Nobody was stepping up to offer me that. That never happened. I was never offered a multi-million-dollar contract or something. But, that is what it is. A lot of these victims and stuff that are claiming victimhood, they were offered the contract. That's why the guy that, what's his name, Diddy's only serving as amount of time he is. I don't stick up for him at all. But a lot of the guys made a direct decision. Not all of them. And he should get what he gets for what he's done on the side. But there was enough of them that were just taking the deal, you guys. And that's completely different. That's completely different than any other. Anyway, food was awesome. If I don't stop talking, I'm going to eat all my dogs for supper. She's shedding. Look at that coat, you guys. There's nothing wrong with her. In a couple days, she'll just be beautiful and it'll be all shiny. This goes on for 3-4 weeks at a time. If you had a German Shepherd, you'd know. All right, guys.